Buckets. Hello and welcome into episode 61 of Two Man Game with Damon and Dom. I'm Damon, that's Dom, and you are the listener. It has been just over 3 weeks since we recorded our last two episodes. We did back-to-back recordings since Dom was in Lithuania. So we feel a bit rusty. It's been a long time, but the show's not dead. Don't worry, we are still here. Uh, Remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, leave 5 stars on Spotify. We had our wrapped or whatever. Um, I didn't pay that much attention to it, but it happened. It's the end of the year. We're still kicking over 60 episodes in. Dom, how are you back in LA? How was your trip? Tell us everything.
Back in LA, I'm doing good. I'm doing a lot better this week. I had jet lag for a long time. It
Mm.
was always in the morning. I just could not wake up. Like I felt like I was just like a walking zombie for like an hour. But I finally feel like I got enough rest. So like the last few nights. So all caught up and I had a great time back in Lithuania. I had a good trip with my mom and had a good time in Texas for Thanksgiving with my dad. And I'm excited to be back in LA. We had a show on Saturday, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm enjoying seeing everybody during the holidays. It's been nice. How are you doing? How is your weeks been? How have they been?
They've been good. It's been pretty busy. Um, yeah, I mean it's just been, pushing to the holidays for the school year is always a tough stretch, but we have the rest of this week. It's Wednesday right now, and then next week, and then we'll be home free for a couple weeks. So just trying to get there,
Nice,
just trying to make it. That's all.
nice. Yes, and I'm anticipating that we'll do after this episode one more, and then we will have an our in-person Christmas episode.
Oh yeah, is that the plan?
I think so. Yeah, because we got one more week next week, and then the week after is when I'll be there for Christmas. So
Okay. So we can have our next week episode, which we already have a segment for, and then we can do
I
I don't know, something for Christmas.
review. We could go over the NBA Cup, right? Because it's not going to be.
I
I think
suppose that will be important to do, yeah.
it will be over by then. Because right now, this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about it and how it ended up, and who's playing, who has played, and then we can just kind of debrief, and then probably talk about like going into the maybe just like a couple things to go into like next year. What on Christmas Day we could talk about too the games.
Right.
Ahead of time. But anyways, glad to hear you're doing good. I'm sorry you're so busy, but excited for you to get some time off and to see you. We're gonna go hoop, dude.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
it's
wait.
been a while. Rusty.
Yeah. I went with my dad when I was there for Thanksgiving and I went in my jeans because I didn't know we were gonna go
Oh,
play.
so you
We went
played
to go
like your dad, how he
yeah,
sometimes
and
plays
it,
in
it was
jeans.
so funny. This is such a funny story. So I'm there. So we get there and my dad says, hey, like we're just gonna shoot around. We just ate. We're just gonna
Always,
shoot
always, he
around.
always says that.
And I said, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm so full. We had triple eight, triple eight, so
Oh,
good.
oh yeah.
So we're just shooting around, and then my dad says, "Hey, so one on one," and I say, "Dad, you said you wanted us to shoot around. We could do horse or something like that." He goes, "No, come on one." I was like, "You
Come
want to
on,
lose?
coward.
Okay, come on." And then I proceeded to, yeah, I won, but it was still
Wow.
so funny to me, and in jeans, no less. Anyways, that was
Was
a
he
fun
also
time.
wearing jeans?
Yes, of course he was wearing. Even
Jean
though I
off.
bought, well, the thing is, I didn't know we were gonna go play. I thought we were gonna go back home and then go out. But he was like, "Let's just go right now." So I'm in jeans, but
You
okay.
said okay.
I said anything for you, Papa. Papa.
Anything for you,
Anyways,
Papa.
so basketball, I guess. Should we talk
Basketball,
about
that's what we do
some
here on the
stuff?
show, I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
yeah. Hey, tell me about some injuries. What's going on?
I'll tell you about a little bit of injuries. We have Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Luca since our last pod. They all missed multiple games. I believe they are back now.
Hmm.
But they were all out for like I think Luca was like a wrist injury, and then I think Paul George was like a strained calf, and Embiid was an ankle or something like that. Um, so yeah, a couple star players that missed some time, but have returned. Um,
Nice.
but we do have a lot more people that are still out, so let's cover those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been watching some game. I watched Luca yesterday play, and then I saw Paul George and Embiid play too. So looks like they're back, which is like you said.
Back.
So Kevin Durant, shortly after returning, to the lineup. He strained his calf, and he's going to be out for at least a week. So another superstar uh, is a little bit injured.
Yeah. Your Lakers legend Jackson Hayes re-sprained his right ankle. He's gonna be out 2 to 3 weeks at least for the Lakers.
Awesome, cool. It's not like we're struggling. It's not like we
No,
need a
we'll
big
get we'll
man.
get we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, I covered a little bit of it. We'll get to yeah, like you said. Cam Thomas on the way too good Brooklyn Nets is going to miss 3 to 4 weeks due to a left hamstring strain, and get well soon. They need to lose anyway, so kind of works
Nah,
out.
they're
But
playing for the chip this season.
hey, I mean, they're surprising, but they need to start doing some trades. I want to
Right.
talk about some trades,
Oh
yo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Another star player, Scotty Barnes, suffered a right ankle injury. Is expected to be out for several weeks. That just happened on Monday, I believe.
Okay.
So he'll be out for a while.
I missed that. I've actually been watching a lot of Raptors
Did you
recently.
see him with the? Did you see his like not? They weren't full sport goggles, but he had these like red
Yeah.
glasses on.
Oh
They were
yeah.
kind
He's
of
been
cool.
wearing he's been wearing those a lot
Yeah,
recently.
because he had the
Um,
orbital thing, so it makes sense.
right. Yeah, I've been watching quite a bit of Raptors because I you probably haven't covered this over Thanksgiving. I bought League Pass. It was 50% off. So
Right.
$50. And they do have so many games. So I just throw on a lot of Raptors games. So
Oh yeah,
been watching
that's
that.
your East team this year.
I really thought it was going to be the Bulls, but the Raptors have been surprising me, and I really haven't been enjoying watching them. Another really good East team I've actually been watching quite a bit of is the Magic, but Franz Wagner suffered a torn right oblique and is out indefinitely. He'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks. Tough blow for a team that lost Paolo Banchero, who we predicted was going to be MVP and talking in the MVPs,
Right.
All-Star, so tough break for them. And they played yesterday against the Bucks. We'll talk a little bit about that game. They're still doing pretty well, playing really tough even without Paolo and Franz. But we'll see how that continues to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're like 10-1 or something without Paolo.
Mhm.
Like they were going crazy. So now they're without another person. Um, we'll see. Brandon Ingram of the Pelicans, they haven't had enough injuries, suffered a lower left ankle sprain and will be sidelined indefinitely.
Yo,
So,
no one's left. There's no one in New Orleans. They're just empty, empty bench.
yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
if you don't mind, I'll touch on this guy too real quick.
Please, yeah, no, please. You know more than I do.
Yeah, so Alfred Payton signed with the Pelicans since our last podcast happened, which was again a little over 3 weeks ago. And I said in that pod, it's going to be a while before we cover any news we're going to miss. But this is something we missed a whole journey here. So Alfred Payton signs with the Pelicans, starts for the Pelicans, multiple games. Him and Brandon Boston, Javante Green, those were like their backcourt for several games.
And Robinson Earl also, he's been playing a lot for them.
JRE, that guy's like a
Yeah.
power forward though.
No, I
Um,
know. I just meant like I remembered that name. That's about it.
Yeah, he so Elfrid Payton was last in the NBA 2021-2022, played for the Knicks. He's been overseas since. In his third game of the season, he had 14 points and 21 assists, which was a career high for him. And then shortly after, he got waived. So the journey of Elfrid Payton back into the NBA on the Pelicans has a career high statistic, and then I think Trey Murphy got back healthy, Herb Jones was healthy, DeJounte Murray is back now, um, and then they said, okay, we'll just waive you, I guess. So that stinks.
You know who would probably be good? Is he a pretty good defender?
Yeah, he's a solid defender.
Lakers, pick up the phone. Come on.
Yeah,
God, we need help. We
you
need
guys
help.
need defense for sure.
God, we need so much, man. Anyways, LaMelo Ball, our favorite, will be reevaluated after a couple of weeks due to a left calf strain. And also on the Hornets, Grant Williams suffered a season-ending torn ACL. Yikes. Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Hornets basketball too, because I'm on the league pass, just like who they're playing against. And
Hmm.
Brandon Miller's a stud.
Oh
Like
yeah.
yeah, he's playing really well. And then Nick Richards, but he keeps getting injured a little bit. But LaMelo Ball out. Hey, what did I say? don't get injured, and then he'll be A tier. Guess
Hey
what? He's
man, he was looking like a definitely an all-star starter candidate so far, but
well,
we'll
we'll
see how
see.
long he's out.
Yeah,
I
we'll
also
see
want to
how.
point out I
Hopefully,
I read an
oh,
update about Grant Williams' injury today from Shams, and he
mhm.
started it with Charlotte Hornets big man Grant Williams.
No.
And I was like, Grant Williams is like 6'6".
Yeah, no, not a big man.
Which is big to a normal person, but like NBA terms,
He's
that's
like
like a small forward, maybe a power forward, but like
he's like big
big man is
shouldered.
crazy.
I would say Charlotte
Broad
Hornets big
man.
shouldered, big shouldered man. Well, just going back, I hope LaMelo Ball gets back soon. Obviously, basketball's better when he's on the court. Um, but it's just unfortunate to see, you know,
Yeah, I'm sure he'll keep himself busy with go-karts amongst other things while he's out.
and running over some more kids and
Right.
stuff. I was telling someone at work about that, and they were like, "Did he really do that?" I was like, "He actually did hit a
He
kid."
really did, and no one even cares about it.
Yeah, no one's talking about it.
Um, we briefly touched on this. DeAnthony Melton undergoing season-ending ACL surgery. So we mentioned, I think, a couple pods ago, he injured his ACL, but it wasn't like we didn't know the severity of it because it had just happened.
Mhm.
He's going to be out for the season, sadly. So
That's sad. They really Warriors need some more depth for sure. But hopefully, you know, goes well and he's back next year. Talk, and this is actually on the good news of injuries is Porzingis and Hartenstein both made their season debuts recently after missing more than a month to start the season, and they've both been playing really well, especially Hartenstein since Chet Holmgren is still out. Hartenstein has been starting, and man, their defense, they are locked in. They look so good. You got
yeah,
Caruso, Dort, Hartenstein, just like pestering you the whole time. I mean, how do you get anything done? Crazy.
assuming health, I don't know how it's not Thunder and Celtics in the finals.
I know. I
I know
really
the
wish it
Cavs
wasn't the
have been really good this
Celtics.
season, but
I would love a Cavaliers Thunder finals. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. As long as the Thunder don't wear their city jerseys.
in the finals, that would be nuts.
I look the Mavericks did. They wore the city jerseys last year in the finals.
Did they really?
They wore it game one. I
I don't even
remember.
remember that.
They wore a game. It was the black ones with like Mavs is like the swoopy con. That
Hmm.
was their city jersey last year, and they wore it game one in TD Garden.
Wow.
I'll never forget. I mean, I wish I could forget, but
How
I'll never forget. How about some news? Tell me some news.
about some news? Jay Crowder back in the NBA on the Kings. Um, I remember the Bucks traded like 5 second-round picks for him. He didn't do anything, and then he was on nobody's team. So now he's on the Kings.
Oh, I thought it was just kind of like I thought it was like a PJ Tucker thing, like he's just there but not on the bench, type thing. Was he under contract or just literally not?
Oh, he was just like in free agency, just chilling.
He's hanging out. Legend Paul Millsap announced his retirement from basketball after 16 NBA seasons. Thank you, Paul Millsap.
Can you
You'll
name
always
4 teams that Paul Millsap played for?
Denver Nuggets,
That's one.
Utah Jazz.
That's two.
Was it the Rockets?
He was not a Rocket.
What the?
I
Okay,
don't think he was.
Pelicans.
No, he was an
Um,
all-star in the Southeast Division once upon a time. In a year where they
Matt.
had 5 all-stars, I think.
Oh, Hawks.
Yeah,
He was on. Oh yeah, he was on the Hawks.
he was
Wasn't?
one of the five.
What's the fourth one?
I think like he was on the Nets for like a year at the end of his career.
Uh, oh yeah, 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 yeah,
That one I
yeah, yeah.
didn't expect you to get.
Yeah, I remember because like I think him and like Jeff Green switched. Like Jeff Green was on the Nets for a year, and then he went to the Nuggets, and then because I remember I kind of thought they were the
The same
same
person. Yeah.
person. Yeah, yeah, because they're just like two older guys that are power forwards that
Shaved
are.
heads.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it was just like, yeah.
Every black
Um,
person looks the same. I get it.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
said. You said it verbatim what I just said. Thank you. No, yeah, well, thank you, Paul Millsap. And I don't think he got a ring, did he?
I don't think so, no.
No. Well, it's still a legend.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Moving on.
Let
Uh,
us.
Nikola Jokic ended up missing multiple games after welcoming his newborn child into the world.
How dare he?
And I think it's interesting to note because the NBA ended up fining the Atlanta Hawks $100,000. Trae Young ended up missing one of their NBA Cup games, and they said basically he was healthy and probably could have played. And then Trae Young posted a picture on Instagram with his newborn son. So just thought that was funny that there were two instances of this. One where somebody missed, I guess they did say for personal reasons. Maybe the Hawks just didn't report in time why Trae Young missed. I'm not sure how that works, but just thought it was funny that they one person got fined or one team got fined and one team was like, ah, it's Jokic, so it's okay.
$100,000 is crazy because that's so much money. Like someone will actually harm somebody on the court and get fined $50,000. And he's like, "Oh, my son's born." They're like, "What the?
Yeah,
No,
that
get
comes
out
right
of
out of
here."
it is a team thing though, so it comes right out of the owner's pocket rather than
Okay,
Trae
at least
Young's
I wasn't
pocket.
Trey Young, but it's
Your
still
son's born,
it's
100,000. Thank you.
every time you get a son born, we get a hundred.
We
The
get a cut of
NBA
that.
gets $100,000.
That would be
We're
insane.
responsible. That's so funny. We control you. That's so funny. Um, yeah. Well, it's funny. Yeah, he hasn't won an MVP, so they get a fine. That's how that works. Um, well, this was so I saw this, and this is what I thought was absolutely crazy. So Jaylen Brown was fined $25,000 for doing a throat slash gesture towards Isaiah Stewart. Did you see the clip? Did you see
No,
this?
I haven't seen it.
Dude, so he like dunks. Isaiah Stewart's not even looking at him, and he just goes like this, and it's like a blowout game. And I'm like, Jaylen Brown, what are you doing? It's just
He's on
so
a mission.
so over the top. I
You
was
said Nike sponsors you? I hate you.
Wait, is Isaiah Stewart sponsored
No,
by
I
Nike?
just
I
made that
was
up.
like, yeah, it's like it's not even at anybody who's done something to him. Like Isaiah Stewart is just there, and he does this like I'm gonna kill you, and that's so could have just done too small, not good enough for him. He
No,
he had to
absolutely
threaten
not.
his life. I did see that. I didn't know that he got fined, and it makes a lot of sense why he did get fined. If I'm
Like you're threatening me on the court.
It's just why it's so over the just scream at him. Why you have to do this number? Anyways,
God. He's not even
God.
looking at him. That's the best part.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
Um,
Yeah.
I
Tell me
wanted
about the
to,
NBA All-Star game.
yeah, so we kind of mentioned this last time. It was still in the talks, but they have now provided more details on the All-Star game in upcoming February. So here's how it's going to work. We mentioned last time it's going to be four teams, three teams of eight All-Stars for the 24 All-Star spots, and then one team from the Rising Stars competition. So whoever wins that. It's going to be kind of a very small bracket, two teams on either side. Those games will be played up to 40 total points, and then the finals will just be one game to 25 points. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I love the classic format, East versus West, and but I also understand as a viewer that it is stale, and
Hmm.
they have been trying different ways to make it a bit more exciting, like having the team captains pick the day of, and
Hmm.
that was cool. I didn't love it.
Picking the
Um,
dab was weird. I liked when they drafted before
yeah, that was a little bit more fun.
on TV.
Yeah,
LeBron and somebody just like, I'm choosing this guy.
it was LeBron versus KD. I remember watching it, and it was like LeBron picking bangers, and KD's like James Harden. He's like just picking his like teammates. It was like, what? Okay.
I remember
Yeah,
Giannis one year as well.
yeah. Well, he's the one that picked Dame first. Like that was like the before they were teammates. But so I'm open to it. Is the thing. I trust the NBA to a certain extent with trying to make it a bit more entertaining because in our time in the last few years we've gotten the play-in tournament, super fun.
Hmm.
Gotten the NBA Cup in season tournament, Emirates, and
I want you to know this episode is going to be titled something like the Emirates NBA in-season tournament cup
Cup.
thing.
Colored courts. There we go. Maybe avoid the word
Colored,
colored courts or just say
colored,
colorful. Yeah,
colored
I
is crazy.
colorful colorful courts. They are colored. They
Colored
are
courts with colored
red
people.
and green. Again, you're saying exactly what I said. That's perfect. No, but yeah, just make
For
it something like
listeners of the
that.
pod, I'm African American.
In case
If you don't know that.
and I'm white. But I like what I was going back to what I was saying. It's like I'm up for trying something.
Hmm.
And maybe if this makes it more fun for the players, I also want the players to have a good time. I want like when they have fun, I have fun watching, and I don't want them to be bored. So if this makes it more fun and exciting, why not? What do you think?
I mean, reading it, I don't like it. It
Hmm.
seems weird. I, I have to see how it plays on the court. I'm not optimistic. You know, these are NBA players, so you play pickup games at the rec that are fun to 11, but we're just average Joes and schmoes. These guys will get to 40 and 25, I think, really fast. So I'm kind of worried it'll just like fly by, and then it's like the teams that lose. Um, 8 guys on a team, they lose like this one guy only get in there for 4 minutes, and that's his all-star experience. Congratulations. Well, that's a little weird.
Mm, that's a good point. I guess, it is what it is for now, but we'll see. Maybe they'll extend it because you made a good point. I mean, teams will score 40 points in a quarter
Right.
nowadays, which is like
So,
12 minutes. So it's like that's it. And 25 points, I mean, that could be done in like 8 minutes.
right. Yeah, I
And
mean,
these are the best of the
unless
best.
unless these guys are going to come out here and play lockdown defense, which has been the opposite of the All-Star game in the last couple of years.
I don't think so. Something about it. I don't think so. But yeah, we'll keep updated everyone on like the format and whatnot. But it's
Yes.
gonna be in February, right?
February. Yep.
Usually around my birthday, kind of.
Yeah.
Very cool. Moving forward, Stephen A. Smith, our favorite uh,
No.
ESPN. I'm just kidding. I couldn't even think of what to call him. Our favorite. Stephen A. Smith signed a 6-year, $120 million deal with ESPN. Fine, he'll be screaming for 6 more years, I guess.
Yay, that's a lot of
No,
money, man.
yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, it's like NBA money. He.
He
What do you think? What do you think?
makes more than the mid-level. That's crazy.
Dang, he does, doesn't he? Wow. Yeah,
And
this is
he
like
does. I
solid
think
role player money.
Stephen A. Smith is one of those guys that like I do think he has very good basketball knowledge. I know his career started as like kind of like a journalist slash radio guy. He kind of did his own thing for a while before getting famous and joining ESPN and then getting even more famous. So he really worked from the ground up, which is nice to see. Um, I just feel like at this point in his career, his basketball knowledge, sports knowledge, I guess in general, because he talks about other sports, which is part of the problem because I feel like they kind of stretch him a little too thin. Because like I feel like if he focused on one or two things, it would be better, but they have him go all over the place, and that kind of dilutes it. If I'm covering 5 sports instead of two, obviously the amount of effort I can put in each one is going to get less and less. But I think, the entertainment value of how he acts on television and stuff like that kind of has almost like that's what people expect now. So the
Yeah,
actual like knowledge and like good takes he may have are often overlooked for like, I'm crazy Stephen A. Smith saying crazy things, and that's
yeah.
whatever.
It's more like instead of talking about like having content, what to say, you're just trying to get like clicks and people like to get viral. Like Stephen A. Smith said, what on the podcast or like on TV, instead of actual journalism. And I mean,
Right.
a lot of these guys on the TV, I feel like they just say like the same things and they never like they always talk about the same things and whatnot. So it's um it's a business at the end of the day too. The
Right.
reason why I made a face while you were talking is because so right now we're gonna go over it in a little bit, but right now the Warriors and Rockets are playing in the NBA Cup in the quarterfinals
Yeah.
or semifinals, I think. Um,
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. I was right the first time. Never doubt yourself.
Don't doubt.
Um,
Trust your gut.
and Aaron Holiday's playing for
Oh yeah. Woo.
the
Um,
why is like not Reed Shepherd playing? That's my question.
we're
But
trying to win this game. Can't get the Aaron Holiday actually just had a awesome steal that led to a transition bucket. So
Okay, I missed that. I just saw Aaron Holiday on a fast break that could not run fast. I don't. I was. It looked like everyone was around him on like fast forward, and he was going regular.
He's
I
like,
was confused, and it looked like he was trying really hard. So that's why I was like, "Who's running super slow?" And I
ugh.
thought Aaron Holiday. Anyways,
Anyways,
Stephen A. Smith got it. Tell me about the athlete of the year.
from one legend to another, Time Magazine has voted Caitlin Clark as the 2024 Athlete of the Year. When I first read this, I was like, that's interesting because she was just a rookie in the WNBA. But when I thought about it more, coming off her, in 2024, the calendar year, coming off of really good run with Iowa her last year in college and her first WNBA season, which she was an all-star. So she did do a lot in just the year 2024. So it does make sense.
Yeah, when I first read it, I thought it was kind of pandering.
Yeah.
But I think she did accomplish a lot for a rookie. She got rookie of the year, led her team to the playoffs,
Hmm.
which they haven't been in a while. And didn't she also like had like the highest like averages of like triple doubles by any rookie? Like she did a
I think
lot
she had
of
like the most assists.
records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did a lot for
So
sure.
congratulations to Caitlin Clark. I also just saw her in a State Farm commercial. So you made it, I guess.
Caitlin Paul. Um, does Paul still do those? I think he
Yes.
does.
I think so, which is so funny. What a good segue.
What a good segue.
I didn't even think about that. Chris Paul passed Jason Kidd for second all-time assist in the NBA.
Dun
Um,
dun dun.
yeah, many many players, many NBA lovers refer to Chris Paul as the point god.
Yeah,
And I think earlier in his career, I was a fan, and
me too.
I still, except for a couple things he does that we've talked about a little bit.
The goddamn rip through. I hate
Yeah,
the rip through. I hate it so much.
yeah, just some like bad habits I think that he's gotten because he's gotten older and he's not getting as many calls, so he just refers on cheap kind of
He, it's one
actions.
of those things where he's like he gets away with what he is allowed to get away with, and he's okay with that 'cause he's like it's part of the game.
Yeah.
And just like, things that aren't like basketball things, like something I'm not gonna, our next episode's gonna be about pet peeves, and this is not gonna be one of my pet peeves, but it
Um,
could be. It's when teams intentionally foul when they're up three at the end of a game, so they don't let the other team shoot threes. Chris
not
Paul's
even,
big on that. Um, and I hate it because it's like that's not basketball. Like that's strategy, sure. Is it a good idea? Yes. Will it help you win the game? Probably. But it's not basketball. And like stuff like that, I just same thing with the rip through. Like I just don't like stuff like that.
dude. I had it written down as my pet peeve, the fouling,
Yeah.
to like prevent a 3-point shot.
Yep.
But I did remove it because I was like, okay, but it is part of basketball. Like that is really you can't make that. You could make it illegal, but then it's like you get like penalized for it. But it gets foggy. Then like, what can't you do? What can you do? It gets too like
It's
controlling.
it's
But
not in the spirit of the game.
yeah, and I don't like it. I hate it. And but I will say, when he was back in the day, like he just watching like is it this amazing at lob still is pretty good. Mid range is very good, and
Yeah.
on the Hornets, I mean, I also really enjoyed him on the Thunder when they made that run
Mm-hmm.
where the Rockets beat them. I think that rip through's gotten a lot worse since that for sure. But anyways, congrats to Chris Paul. 'Cause I also do respect the hell out of him for
Oh yeah.
going to the Spurs.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like that was a really cool move.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we definitely have respect for Chris Paul, one of the best of all time.
For sure.
Who's
But
number one? Do you know who number one assisted?
John Stockton, baby.
John Stockton.
Yeah. And do you think anyone's ever going to pass him up? He has
I
like
don't
so
know.
many
He
assists.
has he has like 3,000 more. So Chris Paul would have to play a while.
That's great. I don't know how that happened. I would love to try to like
He,
understand how John Stockton got so many.
yeah, he just threw the ball to Karl Malone over and over again. Like give
That
him
is that
assist.
is that is unfortunate. That is
That
unfortunate.
is unfortunate.
Tell me about
Anyways,
something that could be unfortunate.
okay. The Heat are apparently open to trade talks right now revolving around Jimmy Butler. Of course, they did not give him the extension that he was seeking in the offseason. I think he wanted something like 50 mil a year for 4 years. And they were like, "You're old. We don't want to do that." Um, and Pat Riley was like, "Shut up and play," basically. So they're open to trading him. He hasn't had a great year so far, but apparently the teams interested are the Mavs, the Warriors, the Rockets, and also the Suns. So all Western teams that are pretty good standings wise this year apparently have some interest in Jimmy Butler. Any of those teams stick out to you? Yeah, what do you think?
The only one that makes remotely any sense to me is the Rockets, if I'm being honest, because there is cap room and cap to be moved. Like you have Dylan Brooks for like 20 million.
Oh my God, I would love to trade Dylan
I
Brooks for
know.
Jimmy Butler.
I know.
I
No, when I
love
saw
it.
that, I was like, that is your best move. But then the Heat will definitely want some young people. So like you
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
make
yeah.
decisions. Who young do you get rid of? You have a lot of promising
Right.
people.
We haven't played
Maverick.
like Cam Whitmore. I'd be open to giving him up, just because we're not playing him. I don't want his career to get ruined because he's not
I know,
playing.
but I love Cam. I know, but you're right. You're right. You're right. Mavericks don't make a lot of sense to me. They need more shooting than anything, and defense, if
That's
anything.
not what he does. He does not shoot.
Exactly. Warriors, where's the money coming from? Um, and the Heat don't want anybody
Anthony
from the
Melton, I think,
Warriors,
is making like $12 million. He's injured for the year, but
but
you
the
could
Heat
still
don't want
trade him.
it's like another Terry Rozier. Why would the Heat want? You know what I
I don't
mean?
know. And like Wiggins, they'd probably throw Wiggins in there. He's making a
Yeah,
lot of money.
which I don't know. I think I would keep Wiggins has had a good year this year. He's back. He's
Yeah,
back.
he's back to finals Wiggins.
In the Suns, I'm like, where's the money again?
Yeah, I don't even know how the
Royce
Suns are interested.
O'Neal. Yeah,
Um,
anyways. But anyway, so what are
Grayson
your
Allen.
thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a good year, so it's definitely a scary thought. He's like 35. So for me, this would definitely have to be a team that really, really thinks they have a shot. And even the Rockets, like we're having a great year. We'll talk about the Rockets in a little bit,
Yeah.
but I don't think anyone's picking the Rockets to win the finals. So, and I don't think Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler gets them there. Um, so honestly, like. And the other thing is you have to make sure whoever trades for him, you negotiate an extension, kind of like the Pacers did for Siakam last year. So you don't
Right.
want to trade stuff for him and then he leaves in free agency like that. That would be bad because that's what he did the 76ers. The Wolves traded him over there. He had that 1 year with them. They lost to the
Mhm.
Kawhi shot 2019. And then he left to the Heat.
Yeah.
So it was like they got him, for a rental basically. So I don't know. Not a lot makes sense because he's making a lot of money and his contract's expiring and he's old.
Yeah, I would we'll see. I watched that starting five
Hmm.
documentary and he was in it and I liked the portrayal that he had. Who knows if that's you could tell he actually really loves the game of basketball and I don't think it was he lost his dad last year.
Mm,
Like that didn't like we didn't I didn't know that
I
happened
didn't
or
know that.
anything.
No.
Yeah. After battle with cancer and whatnot. So it was like basketball was like his outlet and obviously he loves the game very much. It's given him a lot. So I would hope that he uses that and maybe finishes out the year and then we'll take a lesser deal somewhere, just to kind of be either to compete for a ring, like just to go somewhere for like less money.
Hmm.
Um, but we'll see. I don't think it makes any sense right now for any of these teams to get him.
Yeah.
Um, even like the Suns are slipping a little bit because that's just injury stuff, but
Right.
they're really good. They have already like a lot of good people. And the Mavericks I think are fine. Warriors don't, yeah. So we'll see. But it is interesting.
Will he be a Heat past the trade deadline?
I think so because no one is gonna get him. No one you know what I mean? I think that's the reason why. Not because the Heat don't want him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I would agree with that. Tell me about your Lakers.
My Lakers. Oh, let's talk about my
It's
Lakers.
been tough since the last 3 weeks have been tough on the Lakers.
It's been tough. A lot of injury stuff that I'll get into in a second. So Lakers are 13 and 11, eighth in the West, got a winning record. Honestly, at this point as a Lakers fan, that's what I was expected to see. I just want if we're having a winning record, we're good. We're above 500. That's fine. We did experience a three-game losing streak. It was a blowout loss to the Timberwolves. That was a nasty game. We scored 80 points. in
Mm,
the whole game. Um,
yikes.
yeah, we had a blowout loss to the Heat. That was by like 40. Tyler Hero made 9 threes.
Naturally.
He went off. It was like 130 to 95, something like that. And then we lost in overtime to the Hawks. And that one was really tough because the Hawks were wearing their city jersey and it looked terrible. And
You hate to see it.
we were wearing ours, and I was like, ours
Oh,
isn't
double city
that.
jersey.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was like, ours isn't as bad, but Jesus, we're losing to the Hawks in their city jerseys. And we could have won. There was a couple possessions. Maybe it was tired or basically there's out hustled at the very end.
Mhm.
LeBron James had a really great like chase down block at the end. But
LeBlanc.
that wasn't enough for the win. We really should have won that game, and that was tough to see. But we did beat the Trailblazers.
Hey.
Hey, hey. So just some injury updates real quick. LeBron James is day to day with foot soreness. This week we're only playing 2 games. I'm assuming he'll be back Friday for our game against the Timberwolves.
People
Uh,
have been calling LeBron washed. And I'm like, he's like averaging like 23, 8, and 7. I don't know about washed. He's just not a top 5 player in the NBA at the age of 40, okay? Chill
I
out.
th- I think no, I totally agree. And the thing is, he's doing also a lot. He's been his assists and rebounds have been really good this year, and he at one time had the best 3-point percentage of his career until he missed 19 straight from three,
Oh.
um, over like the last couple of
The
games.
LeBron classic, like where he has the ball and he slides his feet. You
Literally,
know what I'm talking
yeah, oh yeah. Well, and I've
about?
seen that a million
He
times. Yeah,
loves
I
that
know exactly
move.
what you're talking about. And it's like I wonder what he's gonna do. He has the ball like at the not
At
the
the wing,
corner, at
like
the wing,
yeah,
and it's like and there's 5 seconds
every
on the clock.
time.
Is he gonna let me guess. Yeah, he's gonna do the step back. I would just
Yeah.
wait by the step back for him. Like, okay, you're gonna come back over here. Come on. But yeah, he's day to day with foot soreness, and he's been playing pretty good actually. Anthony Davis was playing monster, as we like to say on the pod.
He
Um,
he was an
but
MVP candidate early on, yeah.
he's kind of chilled out a little bit. His shot percentages have he hasn't really looked himself. I wonder if there's something going on, but they can't afford to like sit him out a game or two. Um, it's just he doesn't look right exactly. So I hope he's okay and not playing through something bad. Austin Reeves has been out with a bruised left pelvis. Hopefully he'll be back
Ouch.
by like next week. Jared Vanderbilt, he was supposed to come back maybe this year. Nope. His return has been pushed to early January because they found, you guessed it, fluid in his knee.
Yeah,
I
that
was like,
sounds so yucky.
ew. I was like, don't tell me that. Just tell me he's going to be back in January.
After he lost both feet tragically in the
Yeah.
offseason.
Jackson Hayes, who we already mentioned, is out 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, we're running Christian Coloco at the 5. Who is that? He used to
It's
be on the
it's
Raptors, and that's about it.
it's a tough season.
Yeah, we used especially because we used to have Jay Huff, and man,
uh,
what a king. Used to have a lot of people.
where's Colin
Christian,
Castleton when you need him?
oh my king, my king and my castle. Christian Wood will miss at least 4 more weeks
Oh
since he's
my
feeling
God.
soreness after knee surgery. So we really don't have anyone.
Man, just bring Dwight in. Bring
I
him
know.
back.
Call him from Taiwan. Yo, yo. Come on. So it's going to be tough. I haven't looked at the schedule, but I just hope we stay afloat for now. We always make a push toward the end of the season. That's because we want to get in the playoffs and not go in the play in and all that. But we just got to stay above 500. As long as we stay above 500, I will be happy as a Lakers fan. And we
Lakers have been in
can't,
the play-in like every year since its inception.
no, I know. As long as we're above 500 and we win those games, we should win. Like we should have won against the Hawks, but we are beating the Blazers and the Jazz and things like that. So
Those garbage teams, yeah.
yeah. The last thing I do want to mention real quick, I forgot to make a note, is that people are already calling for like JJ. They're calling saying
Oh yeah.
JJ Redick's
Oh yeah.
fault. Are you kidding? It's absolutely not JJ Redick's fault. But I will say I noticed we talked about this when the season first started. The Lakers had a lot of fluidity in their playing. They were passing the ball a lot of cuts, back cuts. It wasn't a lot of like ISO LeBron or ISO Anthony Davis. And what have I been seeing a lot in the last few weeks? A lot of ISO LeBron and Anthony Davis. And man, It is tough to watch. It is so boring, and I really miss. I don't know. Is it because we don't have enough players to be able to do all that cutting and whatnot, or we don't trust them? But I miss a lot of the actions we were running in the beginning of the season. It was working. It was working.
Right.
We were 3-0. I know it seems so long ago to say that, but we were we
3-0,
were in
baby.
we were in the power rankings at like number 5. Like that's crazy. That makes no sense. Didn't make sense then either. But we were being taken seriously, and now it's gone back to what we've been doing the last few years. So I hope whatever is going on, we change it. I don't think it's JJ Redick's fault because he obviously would be running it if he could. So um, hopefully we'll get back to form sooner rather than later. And tell me about a team that's doing good. Tell me about the Rockets.
Well, real quick on the Lakers. You know
Uh-huh.
whose fault it is?
Rapalenko.
It's Rob Pelinka's fault. It's a roster issue. Um, they have, I know there's been some weird stuff. I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but D'Lo has been like in the starting lineup, but also coming off the bench sometimes. Um, JJ's been trying different things. I just feel like they don't have defense outside of AD. He can't cover everything. Ron is obviously old. D'Lo, not a great defender. Austin Reeves, not a great defender. Um, Jared Vanderbilt hasn't played basketball in 18 years. And Reddish, here and there. But I
Yeah.
just feel like the team is not well comprised around LeBron and AD. Because you think about it, these guys were both in the Olympic team. LeBron was like the captain of the Olympic team. It felt like, and they always deferred to him. AD, of course, really important too. So yeah, I feel like it's a Rob Pelinka issue. Think back to the Westbrook trade, not getting guys like Buddy Hield, things like that. I mean, that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to, I think.
Absolutely. And I mean, right, I mean the couple there's a few people I think we should be looking at, hopefully somehow to make a trade or whatever, that it's about to open up the not
Zach
trade deadline,
Levine.
but not Zach Levine. Because I don't want another superstar. I want really good
That's
role
good because he's
players,
not a superstar.
a star even. I'm talking about like Dorian Finney-Smith, talking
Mhm.
about Cam Johnson.
Oh, Cam Johnson's playing too good. I don't think you have the assets unless you're going to give up those 2029, 2031 picks.
I know, and but again, I'm just dreaming. And I know Valanciunas has been talked about a lot. I just don't think he spaces, and that's an issue. So why? I've been hearing a little bit of Wendell Carter, little talk.
Oh, interesting.
And he can stretch the floor. But I
Yeah,
think the Magic have a good thing going. I doubt they'll move him before the end of the season, especially with Paolo and Franz out anyway. So
yeah.
they need that kind of to. They have Mo.
They
They
got
got
Goga.
Goga. I know Goga. Hey, we'll
He
talk about
yammed on
Goga.
someone the other day.
Dude, he been yamming. He been yamming. Goga been yamming. Um, it's so funny because that sounds like gibberish, but it's a true thing. He
Those are
has
real words.
it's the real words. But yeah, no, I appreciate that talking about that and just the issues and whatnot about the Lakers. But we shall see. We'll see what happens.
Let's
But
talk about the Rockets, though, baby.
let's go, baby.
We're the third seed right now, 16-8. Let's go. About to be 17-8 after we smashed the Warriors today in the NBA Cup. That's right. I'm gonna quickly recap all the games that we've played since we last potted. November 19th. It's December 11th. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Mhm.
Um, so we beat the Pacers by 17. Shingun had 31 and 12. We beat the Blazers by 28. Dylan Brooks actually led us in scoring with 28 himself. And then the next night we played him again and we ended up losing by 6. So I think that was kind of just a back-to-back schedule loss kind of deal. We ended up beating the Wolves by 6 in overtime for one of our NBA Cup games. Fred Van Fleet had 27, 11, and 8. Shingun, another triple double, which has been common for him this year, 22, 11, and 10, which is nice to see. And then we had another OT game against the 76ers, back to back. So back to back OT games. Rockets got a lot of back to back games in general. And Jalen Green had 41 in that game. Maxey had 39, so kind of a shoot off between them, but we did come out on top. We beat the Mighty Thunder by 3 on the first of the month. This was a great game to watch. This is a game I watched a lot of because sometimes I'm at work pretty late. I work till like 7:30 some days now, so I'm not here in time for like the Rockets playing, or I'm doing something on the weekend, what have you. But this game I watched a lot of. Fred VanVleet had 38, and I wrote here I hate Dylan Brooks because there's this play where there's a shot. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a shot goes off the rim. SGA goes up and like grabs it. Dylan Brooks gets like one arm under it and then like turns and like rips like this. And then him and SGA go on the ground and like kind of brawl for it. And then they get up and they're like not they're physical, but then you can also see they're like laughing and like shouting at each other because they're both on Team Canada. So I guess they probably have some sort of relationship, and then people are like separating them, and I was just like, why? Like that didn't need to happen. Um,
Real quick, I
yeah,
watched that game live. So
yeah,
I did I was texting you about that because Fred VanVleet was that when the shot clock expired, it was like two. Jalen Green passed it to Fred, he just threw it up and he made it at the end.
hmm
That was so sick. But that was such a good game. A great win for the Rockets. I
oh yeah,
remember. Yeah.
felt good. And then we went on a little bit of a skid. Lost to the Kings by 9, lost to the Warriors by 6 without Steph and Draymond. Kuminga had 33 off the bench. But then 3 days ago, we ended up beating the Clippers by 11. Jalen Green had a pretty good game. Um, so yeah, it's been mostly positive for the Rockets. Third in the West, nothing I can complain about. I think we're only down to the Thunder, the 1 seed. Who's the 2 seed? I cannot remember.
I'll look
I
it
know the
up.
Mavs are the 4 seed. They're like right behind us. They went on a big win streak.
Yeah.
They're like 16-9. I think the Warriors are like the 5 seed.
It is the
The
Grizzlies. I
Grizzlies, the
forgot they've
Grizzlies.
been
Yes, yes,
super.
yes.
They've been like 11-1 the last 12 games or
Jared
something.
Jackson's an all-star right now. He's been awesome.
That's
Um,
crazy because every time I feel like I watch them, he gets played off the court. So I don't know what games.
last year was a struggle, but this year he's here to play.
Hey, friend of the pod, friend of
Right of the
the
pod. Yeah.
pod.
Yeah, Rockets are really good. I mean, I'm a happy Rockets fan this year for
Yeah,
sure.
they're rolling.
Um, yeah, I texted you the other day. I can't wait to take out a personal loan to go down to Houston and watch them lose in the first round. But
It's
that'll be
gonna
a great
happen.
season.
Yeah, that'll be a great start. Yeah, I mean that'll be a great start to what this not dynasty, whatever you want to call it, like the this
Era.
era. There, that's way better than dynasty. What the hell?
We'll be a dynasty, don't worry.
Led by Dylan Brooks. Cool.
Oh. So
Uh.
speaking of the Rockets, let's get into some NBA Cup stuff.
Yeah,
We
tell
haven't
me.
talked about this in a while. So group stage, of course, wrapped up. The quarterfinals are on right now. Here's how the groups ended up shaking out. The Rockets, of course, advanced out of West Group A with a 3-1 record in our Cup games. Over to you.
The Thunder advanced out of the West Group B with a 3-1 record in Cup games. They had a, plus 45 point differential, while the Suns, who were also 3-1, had a 30 point differential. So in the NBA Cup, how many points you score in a game matters. So that's why, because it'll come down to things like this.
That's the tiebreaker if you have the
Yeah,
same record. Just funny because then, instead of games, we're like, okay, we're up by like 30. Let's put our bench in. They're like, no, we're going to keep killing you.
yeah,
We're going to
literally.
destroy you. The Warriors, of course, advanced out of West Group C with a 3-1 record as well. They had the tiebreaker victory over the Mavs, who are also 3-1. So the Mavs actually had a better point differential, but they beat the Mavs, so they advanced.
Got it. And then yeah, the Mavs with a point differential of 46 became the wild card team. So they ended up playing the first seed, right? Technically, right?
Yeah,
That which was
the
the
Thunder,
Thunder. Yeah. And then the Rockets are playing the Warriors,
which is
which is going
happening
on
right now.
right now. And it's a
Rockets are
very
up
it's Rockets are up by by 5. They were up by like 12 or
a lot.
14 at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about to be halftime too. It's pretty low scoring. Oh my God. It's like 44-37. Um, Interesting. I'm excited to see the rest of it. But yeah, let's pop over to the Eastern Conference.
Let's
Or
do it.
I or yeah, we'll talk about what has happened later. We're just
Yes.
reviewing right now. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So the Knicks advanced out of East Group A. They had a 4-0 record, so they were undefeated in their NBA Cup games.
Then the Bucks advanced out of East Group B with a 4-0 record in Cup games as well.
They really turned it around after their terrible start to the season. So Good
Yeah,
for them.
they're super interesting. Um, I'm sad to see, I'm not excited. I'm interested to see how this season shakes out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the Hawks advanced out of East Group C with a 3-1 record in cup games. They had a tiebreaker victory over the Celtics, who were 3-1. The Hawks, I mean, they beat the Celtics, they beat Cavs, they beat somebody else that was like really good, and then we'll talk about the game they had today as well.
yeah, they beat the Lakers, dude. Come on, they're
I
so
said really
good. Right?
good. Um,
Yeah, you're right. They're really, really good. Oh, you're right. I'm kidding myself. And then the 3-1 Magic with a 45 point differential became the wild card team over both the Celtics and the Pistons.
Pistons were 3-0 going to their last game. They lost to the Bucks.
I noticed that and I was like, I would love for the Pistons to like go into the NBA Cup and like maybe they probably wouldn't win it, but like just get to Vegas, like get to the semifinals would have been so cool to see. But they're a year or two away, but still.
Yeah. Let's talk
Um,
about the bracket.
okay. Yeah,
I
let's do
want to
it.
do I want to do some predictions. I know some games have already happened, but I'm going to predict them as if they hadn't
Yeah,
happened.
absolutely. Yeah, so tell me about your quarterfinals in the West. Who you would Thunder or Mavericks?
I would choose the Thunder. That game has not happened. I would choose the Thunder over the Mavericks.
That
What
game
about
has
you?
happened.
That game has happened?
Oh yeah, it happened yesterday.
Oh, never mind. I lied. I chose right.
You're good, you're
I'm
good.
dumb.
I would have picked the Thunder as well. I did watch that game. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it a
Yeah.
little bit later.
I had
Ro
band practice yesterday. It was a busy day.
yeah, I remember I was texting you about it and you were like, I'm at band practice. I was like, you're not missing much. We'll discuss it. But Rockets Warriors, who you got? This one's
Rockets,
live.
baby.
Oh yeah.
That
Come
game's
on.
actively happening right now.
Come on, look at us. Look at us. Rockets. Okay, Bucks Magic.
Bucks Magic, because Franz and Paulo are out, I would have chosen the Bucks, who did, of course, win yesterday.
I also would have picked the Bucks. And then Knicks and Hawks.
So this one I would have picked the Knicks. Cat has been playing really, really well.
Mhm.
And Jalen Brunson, of course, over there, and the rest of the guys. I definitely would have picked the Knicks, but that's not what happened. So,
Yeah, I would have too. That's seems like we're all our bracket would have looked the same. But here, now let's go into predicting.
okay.
Or do you want to should we review or predict?
Oh, let's predict. Let's predict.
Let's predict. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Thunder Rockets.
Oh, it's so hard. Um, I think I'm sadly gonna have to say the Thunder. They're just playing so well. I want to say the Rockets, I really do, but we barely beat them last time with some people having some crazy games. Um, so I'll say the Thunder here.
Gotcha. I will probably agree with you, though I like the Rockets' chances. I
Oh
like
yeah,
them better than the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Rockets' chances better. I think they're a bit more evened out. They're younger too. They can kind of keep running with the Thunder, but that defense is so good.
Hmm.
It's so hard to break it. But it's nice that the Rockets do have multiple weapons. It's like you're not just gonna double up Jalen Green. Maybe Şengün is he's doubled up. Then like who's gonna take him in Thompson or Jabari? So.
Right.
I do like that about the Rockets. You're never sure who's gonna be the guy. Um, and Thunder are kind of similar. You got Shea, obviously, but then J Dub can turn it on. Sometimes he's the guy. Sometimes like Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins are just making every single 3-pointer, and it makes zero sense. But yeah,
That's
Thunder,
how they work.
yeah. And then Bucks, Hawks,
Bucks, Hawks. This is a tough one. This is
yeah.
just because the Hawks, like I said, they've been giant killers. They've been slaying all those good teams. Um, but thinking about it, I don't think the Hawks have anyone who can stop Giannis. He, I feel like can just get. I think he's too fast for a Clint Capella, too big for Onyeka Okongwu, DeAndre Hunter. So I feel like he can kind of just do whatever he wants. Damian Lillard and him can kind of take advantage of Trae Young in pick and roll scenarios. Um, so I'll go with the Bucks.
I'm gonna go Hawks
I, I
because
I said it was tough. So.
no, it's tough. No, no, no. And I'm only saying it because I watched this last game of them and watched a little bit of the Lakers and like their defense is really good. And Dyson
Mhm.
Daniels obviously is a
Dyson,
big part of that, averaging the highest deflection rate ever, I
ever.
think. It's
Yeah,
like 6.5 a game, which is
yeah.
crazy. Like the average is like 3, if that. So
Hmm.
He's playing great. Jalen Johnson, Trey Young locked in, like they locked in. Jalen Johnson had like a nasty block. Um, and um, yeah, I mispick the Hawks just to be different too. But I also love the history between the Hawks and the Bucks. The Hawks and Bucks did play in the conference finals, like two,
Mm,
3 years ago,
yeah,
3 years ago, and that was a really great series, super fun. So I love that there's a little bit of history there. That's going to be fun. And then the finals, let's say it's Thunder Bucks.
it's Thunder against doesn't matter. I'm picking the Thunder.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
kind of going Thunder too. So, Thunder will be the second winners of the NBA Cup, perhaps.
yep.
So, yeah,
And as we learned from the Lakers last season, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
doesn't mean a damn thing.
They get a
But that
banner
that banner be
that
look
says
cool. That banner,
Emirates NBA in-season Cup tournament champion.
yeah. I'm
Like,
like, I forgot what the banner says. Like, if it said in season tournament, they have to like redo it to
they got to
say NBA
rectify
Cup
it.
or whatever. But yeah, I did like, we talked about it last year when it happened, but I did like that it's not as big as a championship banner. It is a little banner that says like, NBA Cup win whatever, and then it has like space for multiple years to be put.
Oh,
So
okay.
I like that more than like here's a whole banner. And it's like
That
it's
would be
not,
great if like a team won three in a row and it was just like banner, banner, banner.
yeah, it's like that's what it is. Um, but yeah, let's review a little bit of like what
That's
happened in the games. And I watched actually watched most of these.
okay.
So I can review, I guess, a little bit.
I'll be here.
Um, no, you're hey, be there, look good. That's what you do. So handsome. Um, the Bucks beat the Magic by 5 yesterday without Paolo and without Franz. And let me tell you, the Magic were so close to winning. Jalen Suggs was playing out of his mind. They kept getting really
Off his gourd.
the what?
Said off his gourd.
Office scored?
Gourd. Gourd. Like
I
a
don't know.
pumpkin, like a gourd.
I have no clue what you're saying.
Gourd. Like that. It's an
What?
expression, I think.
My parents are immigrants and I've never heard it.
Yeah,
Explain it.
off your gourd. Yeah, out of your gourd. I don't know. It's just instead of saying out of your mind.
That is so. I thought you were saying like some guard, just funny. Anyways,
You know what a gourd
I
is, right?
no.
You don't know what a gourd is?
Hell no. You think I would have been this whole time being like, what are you saying? What are you
It's like a
It's like a
it's like a pumpkin and a squash put together.
okay, I've seen them. I thought they were just like pumpkin squashes or something. I didn't know they had a
It's a
name.
gourd.
Gourd is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous name for what that is. Anyways, you're here to, and I'm learning new things. Anyways, they were doing this. Magic were doing really well down the stretch by um, playing solid defense and getting like those deflections and running, pushing the pace and getting a lot of fouls. They got a lot of free throws toward the end of this game. You could tell the Bucks were getting frustrated and Goga Batadze was doing really well, but he got in a little bit of foul trouble. And Wendell Carter came in, he got in foul trouble. It's Giannis. What are you gonna do?
Right.
But yeah, it came down eventually to. I mean, Damian Bucks were down 3. Damian Lillard hit the step back, tied it up. They got the experience on their side. The Magic had Paolo and Franz, but it would have been a totally different game.
Oh
But
yeah.
very happy for the Magic to still be playing very competitively. It's nice to see. And Jalen Suggs did have I think it was this game. He had a chance to tie. It was this game. He had a chance to tie it up, and he missed it, and he was so devastated. And I love that commitment. Like he was just so distraught that he missed it. It wasn't just like, next time. He's like, he really wanted to win.
Yeah,
Um,
shout out to them and Jamal Mosley. I mean, those guys really care. They
yeah,
are out there hustling, regardless. Very next man up mentality, that sort of thing. So you love
yeah.
to see that from a team, and I feel like that often stems from the head coach kind of creating that environment and that buy-in from the players. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So Giannis had 37, and then Damian Lillard was kind of quiet, but he made 11 in the fourth quarter, and that's really
mm,
what helped him out. So yeah, Bucks won, which they
I'm,
should have. Chris Middleton was also coming off the bench too, and he helped with the
oh,
like
he's
shooting.
alive.
He is
Okay.
alive. Both his knees are not his, but he is alive.
I'm
Uh,
watching the halftime show. for the
Oh,
Rockets Warriors right now.
yeah, I
Uh,
saw it. I saw it.
the dog walking on a guy
Yeah.
as he rolls. That's
That is, I've seen that at multiple halftime shows. Can we not just get like
there's
other things?
that's like their specialty. Like people that perform it at stuff like this, they just travel around.
I mean, I'm happy for him. It's fun as cute. I mean, I'd be getting a hot dog at that point. Anyways. Next game that Thunder beat the Mavs. So this one was not as close. Luka just had an off night. I mean, Lou Dort had him in the torture chamber.
The
Is that what
torture
you
chair,
call?
dude. He had that in the playoffs too.
What did I call it? I called it something different, and it was wrong,
Like,
but it wasn't bad.
see, like the Dortchen, like the dungeon.
Oh yeah, that's probably some or like I think jail cell, like Dort cell. Stupid. Just thinking of
Rewind
worse
the
things.
tapes.
I'm thinking of worse names than Torture Chamber. Anywho, yeah, Shea dropped 39. Hard to beat the Thunder when Shea is dropping 39. Their defense was immaculate. The Mavs just could not get it going, get on a run. There was a lot of really bad play. The Spencer Dinwiddie had some turnovers and uh,
I keep
not
forgetting he's
great.
in the NBA.
Yeah, he's still there. And I mean, he's again when he's on the Mavericks, he plays really well. Like he was making a lot of like good shots, but then he was also fumbling the ball and like he'd get a pass and
Oh, like what is this football?
yeah. And guess what? You're not supposed to do that either.
Hey,
So
hey, hey, hey!
Thunder beat them pretty handily, but yeah, I think Luca only had 16 points, which is crazy. And
Wow,
Kyrie was pretty quiet too. And if that is happening, hard to win.
right?
Uh, so the game that just happened today, I watched the whole thing. So Hawks and Knicks. It was a what do they say? A game of two halves,
Mm.
right? The first half was the Knicks. They had the Madison Square Garden on their side. They were had a like electrifying defensive stops. Cat was
Cat had
monster.
15 rebounds in the
Yeah,
first
he
half.
was he was going wild because they didn't have anyone else to get rebounds. And here's the thing: in the second half, Cat got in foul trouble. They sit him. The Hawks got so many offensive rebounds.
Mm.
So many. It was like 2-1 or like 3-1 even. They just got so many more.
Cat has been so good this year.
Yeah, Cat still had like played a great game. But yeah, whenever the
The
you
big
know,
bodega.
yeah, the big bodega as Doris Burke calls him. Which Mike Green was like, the big bodega. And he was like, yeah, I thought it's cool. I was like, I liked it. It's not too bad. I also saw the big purr.
I've heard that one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But yeah, the Knicks had it in the first half. The Trey Young wasn't didn't get it going. They were terrible from three. The Hawks could not buy a shot. They're like 1 for 10 for a long time. Then the second half came around. Their defense came alive. Got a lot of like really. There was a lot of turnovers on both sides, but Hawks really made sure to get the get ahead in transition and make these shots. And then once they got the lead, they never let it go. They got up by 12. Then Knicks fought back. They got up by 14, and then just kind of ended. So Trey Young came alive. DeAndre Hunter's been playing really well off the bench for them. Jalen Johnson played well, although he will sometimes try to play point guard, and I swear I saw him pass it to a Knick player 5 times. Just straight up. So he's got to work on that. But it was a really good game on both sides. But the Hawks just played like they wanted it more. And once the Knicks had no size, they put Jericho Sims in for 1 minute, and they took him out
I
because
said, all
they
right,
just
never mind.
yeah, like they were just taking advantage of that. And there were lobs, like Trey Young was throwing lobs at the end. It's nasty, but good game. Knicks really needed Mitchell Robinson to come back, but they're doing fine. They're doing well.
I didn't expect the Knicks to struggle as much on defense as I feel like they have this year with Mitchell Robinson. I'm not Mitchell Robinson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. But their offense has been really good with Cat
Yeah,
and Brunson, so it's interesting.
yeah. I mean, that was our thing when we were going into it. It's like you needed to defend centers. Okay, you got Mitchell Robinson. And you need to defend wings. You got Mikal Bridges, OG, arguably the two best.
Right.
Um, and this year, I don't know. They'll figure it out though, I'm sure. But this is one game, and the Hawks get to advance to the semifinals, so that's kind of cool. Tickets are I think it's like 50, $60,
Not bad.
and man,
To Vegas.
be fun to go, but
You're
we'll
not
see.
far.
5 hours ain't too bad. Especially the games are like the first game's 1:30, so I can literally go there in the morning and then come back. That'd be kind of
Yeah,
sick. So
that'd
that
be
way I don't have to
nice.
spend too much money just on gas and whatnot. But I do also need to buy a new bed. So, you know,
You can sleep
it's
wherever. You can't watch basketball wherever. That's all I'm saying.
you're so the NBA Cup. Hey, you sleep every night. NBA Cup happens once a year.
Right.
But yeah, Rockets and Warriors are playing right now, and at the half, Rockets are up by like 7. So we
We're taking the
will
W here.
yeah, we're gonna stay silent for the next hour and a half, and then we'll just chime in at the
Okay.
end.
There we go. I'll just record a little video later tonight by myself, just looking at the camera, like
I hope it's like
Rockets
you on your
won.
no like on your phone, just like really close, like and you're like in bed, like Rockets won, and it's like something
Like
really like Blair Witch Trials type. Rockets won.
the season is over. Um, if they lose. No.
Anyways,
Yeah, it'll be good. That's it. That's the pod. We did it.
yeah, so far, yeah. So Christmas, maybe around Christmas time, New Year's, we'll go to Rockets game. I think they're playing the Timberwolves, like I said. So
Oh
um,
yeah. I
that'd
haven't
be
been in
super
so
fun.
long. I don't think I went to
Yeah.
one last year. I saw
Uh,
the Spurs play the Rockets at the
yeah.
Spurs place, but I don't think I went
Yeah.
to Toyota Center last year.
And then I looked at Spurs because my mom wanted to go to a game, and Spurs are actually it's all like road trips the last 2 weeks, basically, I think. So
I
they're
was gonna
not
say,
there.
take me with you. I'll go with you and your mom.
Oh, I totally would. But they're not there. I think they might have one or two, and they're playing like the Celtics and the Knicks, so it's like $100, if not more, for a ticket.
Dang.
You
I'd
know
be
what I
driving
mean?
the price up that much against those teams.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
I'm not going to
Um,
that. That arena is gross. I don't even like that arena.
I don't love the parking. It's an I mentioned on the pod already, but like since I've been into a dome, like I now know where to park for free at any stadium in LA, which is awesome.
Mm.
Still have to figure out Dodger Stadium. I know there's something I could do for Dodger Stadium, but also
Fuck the Dodgers.
it also baseball
Fuck
boring.
baseball. Juan Soto, hear about this?
No, what?
Juan
Who
Soto,
is that?
15 year, $765 million deal.
Who is that?
He's a baseball player.
Oh, okay. Is he
Yeah,
good?
he either went to the Mets or the 15 years, 765 million. What do you think?
750?
765.
Oh, I thought you said 165. I was like
700.
It's like it's so funny. 15 years, 165 is like that's pretty terrible.
It's like the
I
largest
mean,
deal in
yeah.
sports history or
Is he
something.
young? He sounds like old.
No, he's not that young anymore. 15 years was crazy. I was 13 15 years ago.
No,
That's
no. I
nuts.
mean, look, I feel like you think I don't think it's crazy. I think it's crazy too. I'm just saying I don't know who that is.
Yeah, so he was on. My God, I can't even read this. God. Dun 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 dun. I think he was on the Yankees and went to the Mets or something like that.
Gotcha.
I don't know. This is why sports need
A cap?
a salary cap,
Hmm.
and why I hate baseball because the big market teams can just pay a bazillion dollars for people. So
Yeah,
why
isn't
baseball is stupid.
isn't Otani's like 10-year $900 million contract or something?
Something, and I think it was like 10 years, 700 million. But yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay
Did they
without it.
win? They won, right? The World
The World
Series.
Series, yeah, they did. I was at the Clippers game when they won. Didn't I tell
I
you about
remember.
that?
Yeah,
And that
we
was the loudest the arena got, which I thought was hilarious.
not even on the Norman Powell point. How disappointing.
Dude, not even during this. Or the It's
I
so funny. It's
literally, I often think to myself, and I know you'll know what I'm referencing. I'll just be sitting there, and like somebody says something, and I just think louder, because I can't hear. So they'll say something, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"You got to be louder," and then I'll think in my head, I'll go louder.
Louder, louder.
For our pod listeners, that was Jalen Green on like the Rockets
Dude,
little
it's
little
terrible.
arena thing a
That's like
couple
all
years
those
ago.
like I can't hear you.
Make
Come
some
on.
noise.
Make some noise.
Dude,
Like
I loved Bobans though.
Bo Bump.
Bobans was
I
like
know
he
that's
was like
not it,
make
but
some noise. Like Boban's was huge. Everyone else is like,
Bo
come on,
Bomon's intro was the best. It was
dude. I miss Boban. I wonder what the intro
yeah,
looks like this year. That'll be interesting to see.
yeah. All right. Anywho, so this was the podcast. I hope you enjoyed these updates. And he missed the shot. It was a good shot. But yeah, so next time we are
Shooting
going to
threes like
talk
Amin Thompson.
about next time we're going to talk about some of our pet peeves.
Pet peeves, things we
Pet peeves a
dislike
little
about
bit.
the NBA.
Yeah, and it might be a little yeah, we'll talk about like some rules and probably some sort of come up and I'll cover
Some
that.
news
So
things.
and news and whatnot. So
Louder.
from us, I just want to say also like happy holidays and thank you so much for listening.
We
I know the
didn't do
wrap
what are you
the
thankful for this year? Because we weren't here for 3 weeks.
well, I mean, I'm thankful for you and this pod and for
Hey,
NBA
thanks.
basketball and my family and friends. Pretty
Yeah, most importantly, it's the Rockets record. That's going to be number one. Nothing else really matters. So thanks.
Rockets till I die. Yeah, but yeah, this has been a two-man game with Damon and Dom.
Buckets.